coming today. This is such a great turnout. It's amazing. I really want to thank you for coming to show your support of the Northern California bill and to show our legislators how important this vital bill is to expand the state film tax credit, which will help keep jobs in California. As the executive director of the San Francisco Film Commission, my job is to bring more production to California and San Francisco. This bill will help make that possible, especially with the 5% bump for productions that shoot outside the LA zone. This is really important. We all know we've seen too many films that have been written for and about San Francisco, and they're only shooting a handful of days here, and they're shooting elsewhere because of the stronger incentives. We don't have to look any further than the recent mega blockbusters that have been released. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Godzilla, the upcoming Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Big Eyes. All of these have spent just a few days here, and then they've shot the bulk of it in Louisiana, Georgia, and Vancouver. Yeah. So, by not having a competitive state tax credit, with one of these films, we lost potential for 46 location filming days, employing about 125 people per day, and it was a loss of probably close to $85 million that could have been spent here in the Bay Area. Instead, it was spent in one of these other states, unnamed. But that's just for one blockbuster. So this summer, we have 3 more that are going to be shooting in San Francisco. The same situation. Well, you know, it's great, but we're still missing the bulk of it, and it's because they weren't eligible to apply for the current tax credit the way it's currently written. So we have Terminator 5 coming, we have San Andreas coming, and a Marvel Comics film. But they're basing the majority of their films in Louisiana, Australia, and Georgia. But we are thankful that we're getting what we are getting, but we want more, and this bill will help us do that. We need the bill so we don't lose the thousands of jobs and the millions of dollars that could be spent here. One of the things I wanted to do today was to read something from Mayor Lee. He asked me to present this to you today. He said, "The city and county of San Francisco supports AB 1839 because we know that a thriving film and television industry in San Francisco is creating jobs and economic opportunity for the residents of our world-class city. As more and more states create attractive production incentive programs, filming in California becomes less and less attractive. It's unquestionable that the measure for competition has been raised, and it's time that California addresses deficiencies in its qualified film and television tax credit program to keep jobs in our state. This statewide economic investment not only ensures that California remains competitive in bringing more television and film production to our state, but also brings tens of thousands of jobs for Californians with it. Expanding the state's film tax credit not only showcases our region to the world through the magic of film and television, but would also bring an influx of local spending and tax revenue for the entire San Francisco Bay Area region at a time when cities and counties need it most. I urge the state to pass the state tax credit incentive program, which has added value for our cities throughout California." Mayor Lee. Now, before I close, I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of those that are making today possible. A big thank you to the Fairmont for hosting us in Thank the Fairmont's Banquet Servers Local 2 today, as well as IONC Local 16, the Teamsters Local 278 and District Council 7, AFM, the musicians, AFM Local 6, the Musicians Union, San Francisco SAG-AFTRA, the San Francisco Film Commission, because our wonderful commissioners make this happen today too. Ernie Ernstrom, PSAB, and Video Fax for providing the equipment, the labor, the program management, and structure that's making it. I also want to thank our wonderful trio, composed of Larry Dunlap, he's on the piano, and Jim Furman on bass, and Kurt Moore on drums. And a big thank you to local Jesse Cobb, who you might have heard playing guitar outside on California Street. I don't know if he's still out there playing. And lastly, a huge thank you to our event producer, Vanessa Hammock, because without her, none of this would have gone. So we have a lot more to thank. We'll acknowledge them later in the program, but for right now, please help me by giving a round of applause to everybody who came here today and who worked on this.